Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Kande Yomkela, Director General of UNIDO, for hosting this event. Thank you for inviting me to speak at this exciting expo and share some of the World Bank's experience with South-South development solutions. Today, the center of global economic power is tilting from traditional Western countries to rising sources of growth in the South. And Southern countries, especially middle-income countries, are becoming key innovators and providers of development solutions. In Latin America, good design and implementation protocols made conditional cash transfer programs extremely successful. This success led to a wealth of good outcomes: efficient targeting of resource allocation to the poorest, increased food consumption, and improved school enrollment, responding to an increased interest in such programs globally. The World Bank partnered with governments to launch a community of practice to help practitioners share their experiences across Latin America, Europe, Central Asia, and more recently, Africa and the Caribbean. Study tours, expert visits, and the steady stream of lessons learned through experience have led to a meteoric rise in conditional cash transfer practices and strong results around the world. From 3 countries that were using conditional cash transfers in 1997, CCTs are now implemented in 32 countries. In the case of energy provision, the World Bank agreed in September to co-chair the Sustainable Energy for All Advisory Board with the UN, setting goals to help achieve universal access to electricity and clean household fuels, double renewable energy as a share of global energy production, and double the rate of improvement in energy efficiency. The World Bank will continue to provide financing and help countries generate commercial opportunities to mobilize funds from multiple sources. But in this new development landscape of multipolar growth, the real currency is knowledge, and more specifically, it's tacit knowledge that practitioners have gained from experience. What does or does not yield tangible results? And valuable experiences are made everywhere. More and more countries are systematically sharing their know-how. China is sharing lessons learned from its experience developing special economic zones and industrial clusters. India is sharing its experience managing urban transformation. Burkina Faso is sharing its experience in water and sanitation, and the list goes on. There is a strong demand to learn and a strong demand to share. In this context, the World Bank sees knowledge exchange as an important instrument for accelerating development, helping achieve better results faster. Knowledge exchange inspires practitioners and it equips implementers with successful experiences from peer countries and institutions. Early evidence suggests that knowledge exchange broadens the menu of development options, strengthens local ownership and leadership, and promotes local capacity development. Bringing the right knowledge where it is needed most is critical for success. At the World Bank, we are not only looking at where experiences sit, but how best to share and transfer the solutions and lessons learned from one country to another. Our president, Jim Yong Kim, has recently called for the World Bank to shift from a knowledge bank that produces and customizes knowledge to a solutions bank that helps connect clients to development solutions from experience from across the globe. Solving water distribution in one town, in one country, is a great accomplishment. But spreading that solution to millions in multiple regions is revolutionary. Effective answers to development challenges are not rare, but those that work best often go unnoticed because they blend so seamlessly within their environments. More and more countries are now gearing up to better capture their experiences and package them to be shared with others. Many countries have developed catalogs of expertise. Nevertheless, much remains to be done, especially making the right connections between supply and demand at the global level remains a challenge for many countries around the world. The World Bank is one of several partners that aims to be helpful as a broker and connector of knowledge. Together with our partners, we are still learning from institutions that do this well, and we are documenting our learning so we can share this with others. So a few initiatives in this regard. First, we have developed a framework to measure the outcome of peer-to-peer learning and a design methodology for such knowledge exchanges that will enhance our ability to deliver real results. We call it the art of knowledge exchange. This art moves from measuring outputs to measuring outcomes. We don't necessarily want to know how many participants attended an exchange and if they liked it, but whether they were actually able to take the learning back home and affect change or reform. Naturally, the how-to of designing and organizing such exchanges becomes really important. We have thus looked into what options to do knowledge exchange are available and compiled them into a manual. This manual is available on our website, and we have received feedback that it can be a useful tool and framework for practitioners. Second, we are supporting countries who want to institutionalize knowledge exchange. So at a recent high-level meeting in Bali, we joined our partners from the Government of Indonesia, JICA, and UNDP to help countries think through some of the critical challenges of both operationalizing and institutionalizing knowledge exchange. Many countries are already very actively working towards this, building knowledge hubs at the national level to coordinate knowledge exchanges in a more systematic manner, such as APC in Colombia, Amexid in Mexico, SCE in Singapore, and the Grind Design in Indonesia are some examples of this. But also at a thematic level, to extract the best practice experience countries have to offer in very targeted areas, Embrapa on agriculture in Brazil, Semarnat on climate change in Mexico, and CABRI on budget management in South Africa. These are examples of sector-specific knowledge exchange institutions. The participants at the Bali meeting have asked for more peer learning opportunities, and we are now, together with our partners, setting up a community of practice to share experience on such knowledge hubs. While we are still in the process of setting up this community, I would already like to take the opportunity to extend a warm welcome to you and invite you to join us in this learning journey. Lastly, financing remains, of course, critical to sustain knowledge exchanges. In addition to our lending operations, we have therefore been offering targeted seed funds for knowledge exchange through a dedicated multi-donor trust fund, the South-South Experience Exchange Facility. This financing tool is truly unique, as it is a one-of-the-kind partnership of 10 countries, of which majority come from non-traditional donor backgrounds. They're middle-income countries. The facility is yet another example of how emerging economies are playing a critical role as development partners. Over the last 4 years, more than 100 programs have been financed by this grant facility, often with very impressive results. So let me close by saying that this Expo is really a fantastic opportunity for knowledge exchange. It brings together the wellspring of talent and innovation that is available on such an important topic as energy and climate change. I hope you will be encouraged to share your innovations and solutions broadly and thus actively contribute to our ultimate goal to end poverty once and for all. I thank you and wish you successful deliberations over the coming days.